Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you another 1v1 on death row, but this time around we're going to be playing on the Soviet side with the 79th Guards Tank Division. Going to be up against Mickeey, who's going to be using the 3rd Armoured Division. Those of you unfamiliar with Mickeey, he is very well known for his meme cheese strats, and often loves to really push decks to the extreme. One thing that I always remember playing against Mickeey was back in Steel Division Normandy 44. He used the Renault tanks of the Luftwaffe, which were obviously not that great, with the smoke off map, which also was pretty much unheard of being used, and combined them to slowly move his column of tanks through the map. Now, needless to say, they eventually got mopped up, but they did a surprising amount of damage along the way, and that memory always makes me laugh. So yeah, Mickeey is a great player. He definitely is a tricky player to play against because you never quite know what he's going to do. So I have to kind of go worst case scenario and try and work out and prepare for the worst. So in this case, I've got two Mi-8Ks. They're going to be protecting my extreme flanks with the decent recon here. Just going to be using them to scout for any helicopters sneaking around the edge of the map, which is something that I would expect Mickeey to try at least. Then I've got along the front line a bunch of these BMP-1Ps with the Motostraki Metis. They're just going to be covering all of the important areas. So I've got them jumping into buildings at Delta. I've got one on the road on the right hand side, and we've got one up here to protect against units sort of coming down this ridge. So that's basically my front line. And then behind that we've got 3 Strela 10Ms, which is a lot, plus an Igler, which is a ton of AA just to prevent enemy sort of air attack, or helicopters more specifically, from rushing my ass. I've got an Mi-24V there as well, which is going to be much more useful for quickly reacting to wherever the helicopters are. There will definitely be at least one helicopter probably at the start, but of course there could always be more. So I bring up a second BRDM that's going to be going into center. We've got our BRDM over here in our main sector, and the reason I put it on the left hand side was actually because in a previous match I put it in the middle, and I believe Mickeey was watching my stream at the time, so I made sure to put it in a different place this time around just so that he couldn't find it easy enough. So yeah, got my Strelas up here, and I've set up a relatively defensive front line early on. I didn't really want to have to focus too much on what was happening in the front line, but any of you guys who have keen eyes would have seen the Kiowa moving around the left, and the Mi-8K also spots an Apache and a Black Hawk. So after seeing that, I'm going to have to move my Mi-8K, ghost these units so that I can keep an eye on them, and then get my units over to defend myself. So the Mi-24V is going to be moving over there. It's going to be great for intercepting those. And I've also selected my 2 Strela 10Ms here, which are going to be jumping back onto the road and zooming their way back to my base. So yeah, BRDM, the main thing is to try and keep that alive. I've also got this UAZ that's going to go to be sold. BRDM 2 going to be moving up, engaging the mutt there. But that's going to come under fire from the military police with their recoilless. But I am definitely much more focused on the moment in cleaning up these helicopters. Now, if you'd actually brought a couple of the OH-58CSs, this would have been really hard to deal with. I've been forced to bring in a MiG-23P to react to this, and my Mi-24V actually takes a ton of damage from the Apache on the flyby. But here comes the MiG. Goes for the Apache first, takes that out. The Black Hawk can't really do too much damage to the BRDM, so that's fine, but the Apache could obviously turn around and kill it quite quickly. The Black Hawk needs to unload the airborne rifles here, and that's what Mickeey's trying to do, trying to get it close to the BRDM to kill that off, because I believe the Apache did spot that briefly. But here comes the MiG trying to go for the Kiowa. That's going to have to fly off and get a good run on it. Does manage to fire a Hellfire. I just about managed to micro the BRDM back in time for that not to hit. And I'm getting the Mi-24V to try and kill or at least suppress the Kiowa. Another Hellfire gets fired, but it's too close range. And with the Strellas and the MiG, we take that out. Aero rifles now trying to run after us. Meanwhile, the Black Hawk getting shot by my BTR-60, slowly doing damage over time. Mi-24V going to finish it off, and now is going to engage the aero rifles. So they are stunned, their cohesion is now low, and what that means is they move more slowly and eventually get taken out. So Mi-24V saving the day. Didn't really make good use of its Iglas, but I believe it was a little bit hard for these to acquire a target at the time. They've since already updated this game a number of times since I played this game. So yeah, still be aware that it is early access and a lot of the things here are still subject to change or have already changed. The development on this game is already going so fast, which is absolutely great. Anyway, Meta's going to be moving forwards here. Going to want to take out this military police unit. BMP-1 does get taken out in the meantime. Do manage to kill an M3A1 Bradley CFV on the right hand side with the Metis. Like, the Metis were doing absolutely fantastically because I took out one on the left as well. I've started to kind of like put a little bit of pressure all over the map since like we were both very distracted back here with the micro going on. MiG-23 coming in again. Takes out that OH-58. It was chasing after my Mi-8. My Mi-8 did take one rocket, but managed to slip away from the following, which was good. I should have definitely had this on a attack move order, as opposed to like a move order or whatever it's on, because it's kind of just ignoring that unit right now. Mostraki go in there and killing the unit in the middle, BRDM, and the Mostraki here, kind of just waiting for whatever that was coming towards us. So two Mostraki now moving up here, got the BMP-1 behind. I am currently at a disadvantage with the +3 in favour of Mickeey. He did get 2 commands up whilst I was dealing with the stuff back here, so he is at that advantage right now, and I'm going to have to try and fix that sooner than later. Military police going to be pinned down there and killed off pretty fast. If they come under direct fire, the military police are not very strong, but the best thing about the military police is they can kind of hide in these side buildings and get really good side shots with the recoilless, and the recoilless fires very quickly. So targets like this, like the BMP-1, you see it took like 6 points of damage from one recoilless in the front armor, and because they fire so fast, they're very, very good. Jeep there, going to come under fire. Unfortunately, my Mostraki go down as well. On the right hand side here, we're also engaging my BRDM-2, gets picked off. I was just trying to move that forwards aggressively so I could potentially spot where he had a command vehicle so that I could take it out. I do also lose my BMP over there. Kiowa going to be looking for the BMP-1P on the left side, going to be moving up the Mi-24V to try and contest that. Unfortunately, the BMP-1 goes down just after just after it gets into cover, and then my Mi-24V gets absolutely slapped by a shot from the tree line, and that was not great at all. My Mi-8K over here, currently being routed by the OH-58, so going to bring in the the MiG-23P again, and pop goes the OH-58, and then there's also the OH-58 Kiowa that we're going to want to deal with, and if I can pop that as well, these MiGs are going to get me loads of value. There we go, beautiful. Fly over that AA in the center, popping some flares there, managed to get away. I do manage to pop the M577 CPC here with the METIS, also taking out that unit as well. So we uncap Gregory, and now I'm trying to make some ground across the open. My T-80U unfortunately going down. I could have smoked it off, but I forgot about the smoke order while I was playing. I'm still getting used to that, like some of these units having smoke canisters. And yeah, they're incredibly useful, so don't forget about them. But although they can only be used once until you reload them potentially. I've got an Su-25 with rockets coming up. The idea of that was to help the Motostrałki and the BMP-1 on the left-hand side hold their position there. But we do also have two more Motostrałki coming up, one just coming in the BMP, one with the METIS, and then we got the Strela 10M behind that. BRDM in the meantime is going to be moving into Dmitry to cancel out the advantage that my opponent has. Like Mickeey is currently at the +1 due to having Boris and me having center. But as we catch Dmitry, the +1's now in our favor, and I can start to get myself some points. So now I've just got to try and figure out where this command is in Boris. I had my BMP, or BRDM, sorry, really far up on this right hand side, so I'm kind of like assuming it's here somewhere at this point. So I'm trying to get the Motostrałki in there so that I can push on through. Unfortunately my Strela moves out in the open and gets absolutely popped. T-64 also takes a shot from the HDGM there, but we managed to back up and remove its targeting. Back to +1 in favour of Mickeey, as he does go ahead and capture Elena. And now we're going to bring in the MiG-23. It's going for the Black Hawk. Got to get rid of these helicopters if I can. That goes down. We're now going to go and engage the Wild Weasel here. The Wild Weasel is actually really hard to kill because it has 40% ECM. You see my MiG-23 really struggling to hit that. Does manage to hit it with the last missile fires, but now it's completely out of missiles. I can't really have that hang about. Su-25 currently chilling in the center, and I think the Wild Weasel did hit my plane just before it went out, but didn't shoot it down. My Su-25 taking 2 shots, I managed to get that out of there. I'm moving up the Mi-8K so that I can try and spot the units in the tree line there. Over here, this Motostrałki trying to deal with the air rifles. Is currently damaged and low on ammo. Absolute chads they were. Strela 10M getting a cheeky shot onto the Wild Weasel. Wild Weasel does have seed, but the Strela 10M does not have radar, so the Wild Weasel can't actually target it. Now my infantry moving through here did end up getting killed off, but I have a BRM here. Like if I can't keep the Mi-8K forwards, I can at least move forwards the BRM. The T-80U is going to kill the Bradley for us, so that was nice. I've also got the T-64 that can move up and help. And it turns out that what was shooting at us the whole time was in fact a Stinger. So we're going to be engaging that and taking it out. There we go, the main gun of the T-64 gets the job done. Moving up with the BRM on this side with the T-64 BV. And the Strela 10M's going to be shifting up a little bit. But we've got really good presence. I've just got to kick out the command unit. Meanwhile on the left, the engineers did eventually kill off the Motostrałki there. We're going to bump into an M1A1HA. Does kill off my poor tank here. Blows off the turret. But my METIS is doing tons of damage, so forced to fall back. And the command unit here did end up moving out of the sector, so well, job done for me for the time being. And I'm also able to get a BRDM in on the left side to help capture Gregory as well, which is actually going to put me at a +4 advantage in the game. Engineer Dragon going to be trying to pop my BMP. It's jammed, not able to be fired that time around. This T-64 took a lot of damage trying to move up on the right-hand side, managed to pull that back for the time being. Well, here go the SU-28, no, the SU-25. Really nice kill there onto the mechanized rifles. Great value when you do that, it really, really is. 2 air units or anti-air units fire at me, but they only take 2 damage per hit due to the lovely rear armor on the SU-25. See the M577 CPC coming in. I capture the center sector and we kill that off. Lovely jubbly. And whilst that does go down, as far as I'm concerned, that's definitely worth it because it's going to take him a little while to get another command into position. We've now got an HGM SU-25 hovering about as well, with the intention to just kind of like snipe any other vehicles that come up. Motostoki gets rid of the M35 here eventually. BTR-70 is going to, or 60 sorry, is going to move up and try and kill this truck. But yeah, so far so good. So I mean, after the rocky start that we had due to having to deal with this, we have managed to kind of like stabilize in the center of the map. Got quite a lot of value out of my units so far, and we've still got like the either side covered by the Mi-8s here. Mechanized rifles coming under fire from the BTR-60 there. Could have very easily kind of stopped there and just kept firing them, but I just told the BTR-60 in the end to charge towards the enemy spawn so that I could maybe kill any unsuspecting command units that were at the back of the map, and it would obviously force Mickeey to react to that. So Eagler now moving up as well. I could have very easily brought in, well, I did bring in this command, sorry, here, but every time I did kill the last command, he did actually manage to get another one in. So at the moment, it is contested, just the line hasn't turned up. Now as well, Gregory is contested, so we're looking for the command there. Now, these Sapari RPO are fine if it's a infantry command, because they have the incendiary rocket launcher, but if it's an armored command, there's actually not much I can do. I just got to get eyes on it regardless, and then I can decide what I want to do to deal with it. I did decide to bring up 3 Akatsaya. These are the long-barreled artillery units, and they're going to be useful for taking out enemy artillery, enemy AA, and other sort of squishy units like that. Nice cluster strike coming in there from the F-111E. It did turn out to be a infantry command, I think, in this sector, so we do manage to take them out, which was great. BMP-1P, gonna have to do a runner from that HGM. Chaparral did move up here, but did end up getting stunned. I think what happened there was the Mi-8 actually lost tracking, I think, on the Mi-8K and fired the missile straight into the ground in front of it, and it did damage to itself maybe. M1A1 almost going down to the Motostoki here, but unfortunately they do get stunned just before we can get the kill. But that has left the M1A1 very low on health already, which is great. The Akatsaya firing away then towards the engineers. MiG-23 going to be going for the whistle. My MiG-23 does take a hit. The whistle also takes a hit. I think these dogfights just look so cool. They really do. Cluster munitions coming in again. Don't really do much to any armored or any infantry targets, especially when they're in cover. Got some supply now coming up. Hoping to repair my T-64BV here. and also give more ammo to my Superior RPO, which have actually used up their incendiary launchers completely. But now they do find the flash there. The engineers, if they do have ammo, should win out really against the Sapere. They have set the ground light around them and they're going to just be kind of shooting them to death in those flames. But they are pretty strong though. You see there we are still able to kill one of those units. The Sapere in the town though do go down. Supply truck now arriving. Still at a +2. Now that we're being contested at Gregory. See that the line's going down there. Gonna move over the MI8, see if we can spot what it is that's actually capping. Monostoki with the Metis, gonna be moving up here. And yeah, the Metis is just like easily the best infantry I think that you can get on the Soviet side right now. Also got another Su-25 with the rockets. It's just going to be waiting till we see these infantry targets over here and then it can come in for a run. So my aircraft currently 3 MiG-23Ps. The reason I have so many of them is just because I was using them to take out the helicopters so often. Buster Strike goes straight into my BRDM that time around, but we do manage to kill an M1A1 HA Abrams in the meantime, so can't complain. Yes, I'm gonna sort of lose my cap on Gregory, but that's okay. In the meantime, Ekataya gonna be engaging the military police here and take them out. And that's the great thing about artillery in this game, is they can really get away with attacking units like that are isolated. I hit that Chaparral pretty well with the rockets, I believe. But this Chaparral returning the favour takes us down to 1 health on that Su-85, and I just about managed to get away. The Thunderbolt, if it was close enough, would be able to use its infrared missile to shoot us down, so got to be very careful there. Instead it comes in, takes out my helicopter, takes out the BMP, plus the munitions come down on the top. Nice little airstrike there from Mickeey. Double MiG-23 though. Dropping their missiles onto the Thunderbolt. Not able to shoot it down this time around. And one of the MiGs did take a hit from the Chaparral. So I've got to be pretty careful, but just look at this like MiG-23 wing here. It's like main pilot and his wingman coming around for the next hit onto the Thunderbolt, see if they can get it. Okay, missiles away. Thunderbolt goes down. Successful hit. Buster Strike coming in again. Popping loads onto that right hand side. T-64 does just take out the M3A1 before, but it did take a lot of damage. There's only 4 health left. 2 F-111s did come in, but I couldn't shoot them down with these 2 MiGs because they'd already used all their missiles. So that's why they're going to leave there. And T-64BV got a lot of work to do. If we zoom in, we can watch it go down as it gets taken out. I believe maybe the aerial rifle was unloaded or something there, and then it just got killed. I did bring up the Ural to try and repair it, but it wasn't quite there in time. I always found that in these games, like you bring up a supply truck to fix something up, and then by the time you get it there, it dies. I mean, it is my fault for probably not retreating them from the front line in the first place. But as you can see here, we do manage to push out the command unit in the center. That's going to give us the +3 tick, and I've still got the BRDM-2U ready on the left side to contest Gregory as well, so that would push us to a +5, which would give us the victory. Su-25 still chilling on this left side just in case I need to kill any armored targets here. In the meantime, though, the Sapeli with the RPO and the Motorsaki, supported by the BMP, should be able to push through the trees. Yeah, if anything hard comes in, then I can deal with that. But 2 more F111Es. They're going to try and cluster the edge of the sector again, but I keep the BRDM2 alive. Managed to just about dodge that strike. Igla firing away at the Weasel. That Weasel, I think, actually took a hit from the Su-25 in the end, of all things. And now I've got another MiG-23 zooming in to engage, and I just love watching these MiGs engage. They move so fast. Like, they're actually going like Mach 1. Their speed is like 1,463 kilometers per hour. Nuts. Akataya trying to hit the enemy mortars at the moment. You can see the mortar rounds coming down there. Mortar rounds actually look really cool in this game. You see they get launched so high, and then they come in and leave these smoke plumes as they explode. Very awesome. But yeah, in the end, I get to the victory points and take the victory. Although, of course, it says it's a draw again. And we go 4,065 kills to 2,805 losses. The initial engagement there went really, really well for me with this flanking attack. I think if he'd brought the OH-58s and killed my helicopters, then maybe it would have gone a bit worse for me. But didn't fully commit. Just tried to sneak around the edge. And fortunately, I had an eye out because I knew I was playing against Mickeey. Yeah, he is fun to play against. Certainly keeps you on your toes. But yeah, the MiG-23 is absolute MVP in this one, that's for sure. Shooting down a lot of those aircraft that were really causing me issues, and just pop in the OH-58s, the Kiowa, and the air-to-air variant. Also, you know, the tanks, of course, doing okay. Generally just trading 1 for 1. Motorsaki actually managed to pick up the M1A1HA Abrams there, which is really nice. But yeah, fantastic game. Really, really enjoyed it, and well played to Mickeey. Had a lot of fun with that one, and wanted to show it off. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. This look at another 1v1 in WARNO. Not sure how many 1v1s I'm actually going to be playing for the foreseeable future. I'm definitely more of a team game player. I like playing 3v3 and 4v4. And it'd be nice to see if there's actually like 10v10 gets introduced again into WARNO. I wonder what that would be like. Oh gosh. I think that might be maybe a bit too much for a game like this, like it was in Wargame Red Dragon. I know Wargame Red Dragon 10v10s were quite popular, but it was certainly a bit of a meme. Like there was a lot of like ridiculously strong aircraft flying about in those games, and just like so many tanks, just like an absolute ridiculous number on smaller maps. But I guess if they maybe do like a 10v10 map, then it might not actually be too bad. It would actually be really cool. Like sort of simulate the entire front of the Folder Gap. That'd be just awesome. Now I think about it. But yeah, lots to look forward to in WARNO. I really, really, really am looking forward to the new content that they're going to be bringing in the early access, and I hope you guys are too. What they have already is just awesome. The graphics are fantastic, the sounds are fantastic, the gameplay is pretty much spot on. They just really have to like go through and obviously adjust like a lot of the balance in the game and the statistics. That's probably like the main thing that's kind of stand out right now in terms of issues, but is obviously not a priority initially when it comes to designing a game. You do the balance later on or as you go, as opposed to it being perfected before you show it off. But yeah, anyway, that is it from me. I really hope you've enjoyed some of the content lately from WARNO. I put a lot of effort into getting all this gameplay out for you guys and doing these commentaries. They're not always easy on my voice when I do a lot of them. So yeah, Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you want more WARNO content, of course, and of course check out my Twitch stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 PM. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.